was 20 odd year ago, wasn't it? I don't really know, but I'd imagine that this, as I say, I had just been away travelling. I had been away in Israel for like 9 months or something like that, and had the most mental culture shock time that I'd ever had in my life, you know. I went away when I was 19, come back when I was 20, and so I was obviously in a different wavelength anyway, but it was the end of the Thatcher era, do you know what I mean? And everybody could, especially in Scotland and Glasgow, you could only go up rather than, you couldn't get any worse than the 12 years that Thatcher was there, you know. So I would, not that I can remember, but I would imagine there would have been a good atmosphere around about in Glasgow at the time. And as I say, there was a completely new music scene hitting the place, and the clubs just sort of gone, such a difference in the club scene, you know. Before that, it was you wouldn't go on the dance floor unless you were dancing with a girl, you know, sort of that sort of a thing. Then all of a sudden, it's just anybody gets on and does whatever they like, you know.
Oh, we were all excited about it. I can't remember exactly how I found out about it, but we were all excited. And I remember going and being in the queue and hearing them sound checking and being really excited. I went to the art school afterwards, and I remember that really vividly. And I had a row with my partner. It was a row, but it wasn't that serious because we're still together. Because he wouldn't dance with me, and I wanted to dance, and he wouldn't dance. I was thinking it was probably the last time that was important, that he would get up and dance with me, because after that we started going to, like, you know, house clubs and techno clubs and stuff like that, and it didn't matter because you just dance on your own. So after that, it didn't matter if you would dance with me or not, if you would just sit in a corner. So then we got more and more into dance music and moved away from all that and just immersed ourselves in hedonism and techno.
If you'd gone to a big gig on Glasgow Green 2 years before, it probably would have not had a similar, the atmosphere would have been quite scary, I would imagine, as it probably would be now. Whereas I didn't really get a sense of that. I think there was starting to bubble up this feeling of, you know, let's all be nice to each other, which kind of, I think that's something that was around in the early 90s, and I do think it was a reaction to Thatcher. Partly, and just a reaction to, and I think, yeah, there definitely was something in the air at that time that's kind of, I don't know if it's around so much nowadays, but or maybe we just take it for granted now. But there was a kind of togetherness of everybody from every different, you know, tribe, all coming together under the sort of one roof. I think that was going, you know, used to have all the different tribes of youth culture who kind of fought with each other, and the club scene, and of which the baggy scene was probably a part. It was kind of eroded some of those boundaries, and everyone was, you know, having a hedonistic party together.
I think the Glasgow gig's kind of, everyone talks about Spike Island and things like that, but the Glasgow gig I think is kind of tucked away and no one really, it's like almost like a secret one, you know.
I don't think it really kind of would have occurred to me to bring a camera at that time, so I don't know if there's sort of a lot of photos out there.
And video cameras were well expensive. It was such a faff to get to take video then.
I'm gutted that we didn't have like digital cameras then, because there's no pictures to kind of remember it the same way. It's a shame that even in a short period of time like that, how the advances in technology meant that would have been filmed and folk would have had it on their mobile phones and stuff like that, I suppose, whereas then folk just had fun.
And I'd never experienced that so much before at a rock gig, maybe on a dance floor, but at a gig with a band, no. Everyone was, band and audience were all sort of facing in the same direction. You know, we're all in this together and it's really good.